Welcome to MindSwitch Books. Today, we are diving deep into a truly groundbreaking work, Thinking Fast and Slow, by the Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman. Now, this isn't just another psychology book. This is like getting the owner's manual for your brain. It pulls back the curtain on the two systems that are basically running your life, showing us the hidden machinery behind every judgment, every decision, and yeah, all the predictable mistakes we all make.
So here's where we're headed. First, we're going to meet the two main characters that are running the show inside your head. Then we'll uncover a pretty surprising secret. One of them is incredibly lazy, and this has some serious consequences for your life. We'll also dig into the dangerous illusion that what feels easy also feels true. And finally, we'll pull the curtain back on some of the most common ways our minds mess with reality, day in and day out.
All right, so Kahneman's big idea. The central concept of the whole book is that our thinking is basically a drama playing out between two characters. They're constantly fighting for control of our attention and our actions. He gives them simple names, System 1 and System 2.
Okay, so let's meet the cast. Think of System 1 as the hero of your mental story. It's the fast, gut-feeling, automatic part. It just happens, effortlessly. It's how you instantly know that 2 plus 2 is 4, or how you can sense that someone's angry just from their tone of voice. Then you've got System 2. He's the sidekick. He's slow, careful, and logical. This is the part of you that you think of as you, the conscious, reasoning self that buckles down to solve a tough problem, or maybe figures out which TV offers the best value. But here's the catch. It takes real effort.
Now you'd probably guess that System 2, the logical one, is the boss, right? Well, here's where Kahneman drops a bombshell. It's not even close. Most of the time, it's System 1 that's running the show. It's constantly feeding us these impressions, feelings, and intuitions, and those become the raw material for our conscious beliefs and choices. Think about that. The vast majority of what goes on in your mind happens automatically, in total silence. You never even know it's happening.
So that begs the question, if System 2 is the smart, logical one, why aren't we using it all the time? The answer is, well, it's kind of embarrassing. System 2 is lazy, super lazy, and getting it to work isn't just mentally tough, it's physically draining. Okay, I want you to actually try this. In your head, right now, what is 17 times 24? Go on, give it a shot. Feel that strain? The feeling of having to hold numbers in your head, to focus, to block everything else out? That is the feeling of System 2 waking up and getting to work. And our brains, by their very nature, will do just about anything to avoid that feeling.
You know, engaging System 2 isn't just some abstract mental thing. It is a full-on physical event. When you tackle a problem like that, your muscles literally tense up, your blood pressure spikes, your heart rate climbs, and, get this, your pupils dilate. It's wild. Researchers could literally tell how hard someone was thinking just by looking at their eyes. It's real physical work, and our brains are programmed to conserve energy.
And this leads to a really powerful idea called ego depletion. The best way to think about it is that your willpower, your self-control, your ability to do that hard thinking, it's like a battery. Every time you use it, you drain it a little bit. And when your System 2 gets tired from making tough decisions or fighting off temptation, it just gets lazy. It's more likely to throw its hands up and say, fine, whatever System 1 says, let's go with that.
The real-world impact of this is, honestly, it's terrifying. There's this landmark study of parole decisions made by Israeli judges, and what the researchers found was an absolutely shocking pattern. Right after a meal break, when the judges were rested and fed, the chance of a prisoner getting parole was about 65%. But as the day wore on, as they got tired and hungry, as their System 2 battery drained, that approval rate dropped and dropped until it was almost zero right before their next break. Think about that. The fate of a human being depended on whether the judge had had a sandwich recently. Tired judges just took the easy way out, denial.
Just pause for a second and think about what that means. Not just for judges, but for you, for me, for all of us making important decisions when we're tired or stressed. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff, right? If you're finding these insights valuable for understanding your own mind, take a quick moment to share this explainer with someone you know who'd appreciate it.
Okay, so this laziness of System 2 creates a really fascinating little problem. To save energy, System 1 loves to take shortcuts. And one of its favorites is something Kahneman calls cognitive ease. The rule is simple. If something feels easy to think about or process, our brain assumes it's probably true, familiar, and good.
Let's test this out. I'm going to give you two sayings. Which one feels more, profound, more true? Number 1, woes unite foes. Number 2, Woes unite enemies. Most people almost instantly feel like the first one is more insightful. But why? They mean the same thing. It's the rhyme. Woes unite foes just rolls off the tongue easier. It creates cognitive ease, and our System 1 brain mistakes that easy feeling for a sign of truth.
And it's not just rhymes either. The book explains that all sorts of things create this feeling. Seeing something over and over again, reading something in a really clear, simple font, even just being in a good mood. All of these things make our brains feel comfortable. They generate this sense of ease, which then leads to feelings of familiarity, truth, and even goodness. It's a powerful and usually invisible little trick our minds play on us.
And this isn't just some fun psychological quirk. It has incredibly practical takeaways. For example, if you want to write a message that people will believe, Kahneman's work tells you exactly how to do it. Leverage that cognitive ease. Use clean, simple fonts and language. Make it memorable. Hey, a rhyme helps. And, this is fascinating, studies show we actually trust information more if it comes from a source with an easy-to-pronounce name. Why? Because a complicated name causes cognitive strain.
All right, so let's talk about System 1's main job. It's basically a storyteller. Its mission is to create a coherent, believable story about what's happening around you at all times. And it's really good at it, but it has one major flaw. It jumps to conclusions with almost no evidence, and it hates ambiguity. It will just suppress any doubt to keep its story neat and tidy.
Check out this classic example of what's called the halo effect. Let's say I describe two people. Alan is intelligent, envious, stubborn, and Ben is envious, stubborn, intelligent. Same words, different order. Who do you like more? Almost everyone picks Alan. Why? That first word, intelligent, creates a positive halo that makes everything else look better. We think, oh, an intelligent person's stubbornness is probably justified. But for Ben, that first word, envious, makes his intelligence seem sinister and dangerous. The first piece of information completely changed how we interpreted everything that came after. This all comes down to a really important concept that Kahneman calls YCIAT. It's an acronym, and it stands for What You See is All There Is. What this means is that our fast, intuitive System 1 never stops to ask, hey, what information might I be missing here? Or could there be another explanation? Nope, it just takes whatever information is right in front of it and confidently builds the best story it can. It completely ignores what it doesn't know. And that, right there, is the source of so many of our biases.
So this habit of jumping to conclusions, it leads us directly to our final section. The specific, predictable mistakes we all make when we try to judge reality. These are the mental traps, the biases, that trip us up every single day, in everything from our finances to our health.
Let me ask you a question. Just go with your gut. What do you think is a more likely cause of death in the United States? Strokes or all accidents combined? So car crashes, fires, everything. What's your immediate answer? If you said accidents, you're with the vast majority of people. I mean, we hear about accidents on the news all the time, right? They're dramatic, they're vivid, they stick in our mind. But here's the reality. It's not even close. Strokes kill almost twice as many people as all accidents put together. So why do we get it so wrong? This is a perfect demonstration of the availability heuristic. Our brains don't judge how frequent something is by the actual statistics. We judge it by how easily we can think of an example. And because accidents get way more media coverage, they are more mentally available to us. So we just assume they happen more often. The world inside our heads is not a perfect reflection of reality. It's a story that's been edited based on what's easy to remember.
And this really gets to the heart of what Kahneman is trying to do with this book. He's not just here to point out how flawed we are. His real goal is to give us a shared language, words like System 1, YCIT, availability heuristic, so we can have smarter conversations about our choices and judgments. It's way easier, he says, to spot these mistakes in other people than in ourselves. So by having this vocabulary, we can all become better critics of decision-making and, just maybe, improve our own along the way.
The big, powerful insight from thinking fast and slow is that we are not the hyper-rational creatures we like to think we are. Our minds are in this constant dance between a fast-acting, intuitive hero and a slow, lazy sidekick. The real skill in life is learning when to hit the brakes, slow down, and actually wake up that lazy sidekick when the stakes are high. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you've been properly introduced to the two characters in your mind, which one are you going to let make your next important decision? Thank you so much for joining us on MindSwitch Books. If you want to keep exploring the machinery of your mind, be sure to subscribe to the channel.
And if you're ready to dive even deeper, you can find a link to purchase Thinking Fast and Slow in the description below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.